Hey, 7th grade. We are moving on to lesson 3 in chapter 1 today. And it is talking about multiplying and dividing integers. So yesterday we talked about adding and subtracting, and today we're already moving on to multiplying and dividing. So these rules are different from the rules that we went over yesterday. Okay? When we multiply, the rules are the product, so the answer, of two integers with the same sign is positive. The product of two integers with different signs is negative. So when they have the same sign, the answer is positive. When they have different signs, the answer is negative. Make sure you get that in your notes. Again, feel free to pause if I'm moving too quick. I'm just trying to make these videos, not 45 minutes, right? I'm trying to keep them as short as I can. So you can pause and get what you need, but I'm going to just keep rolling. Okay? The rules for division are exactly the same. Okay? The quotient, the answer, of two integers with the same sign is positive. The quotient with different signs is negative. All right. Another way to write these, okay? I'm going to kind of break this in half and give you some breakdowns. I'm going to use, I don't know how to make this as easy as possible. I'm going to use parentheses. So if we have a positive number and we multiply that by a positive number, these signs are the same. So our answer is going to be a positive number. Okay? It's just another way to try to visualize this information. If we have a negative number and we multiply that by another negative number, those signs are the same. So our answer is a positive number. Okay? So this is an example of this first rule. Okay? The product of two integers that have the same sign, same signs. So now let's do one with different signs. Okay? Let's say we have a positive number times a negative number. The signs are different, so in this case, our answer is negative. So yesterday, when the signs were different, we found the difference, and then whichever number was bigger, that was the sign for the answer, right? So there were a few things that you had to kind of like pay attention to in order to get the right sign on your answer. Multiplication and division is easier, in my opinion, because it's just, if they're the same, it's positive, and if they're different, it's negative. It's just as simple as that, okay? It doesn't matter which comes first, right? Maybe the negative comes first. A negative number times a positive number. Doesn't matter the order. All that matters is that they're different. And so because they're different, that answer is negative. And this is an example of the second rule, okay? I'm going to do the same thing for our division. So in this case, if we have a positive number being divided, I'm going to use a fraction line, by a positive number, then we get a positive answer. Okay? If we have a negative number and we divide that by a negative number, those signs are the same. So that means we get a positive answer. Okay? That's an example of the first. When the signs are the same, the answer is positive. Now let's do different. I'm going to stick with the same pattern. So positive first, so positive number. If that's divided by a negative number, these signs are different, so my answer is going to be negative. Just using parentheses to show that those two things go together, right? The number and the sign. And then the second one, our negative was first, so a negative number divided by a positive number, that answer is negative because the signs are different. Again, the order doesn't matter. The order has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter which one is bigger or which one is smaller. All that matters is whether the signs are the same for the numbers or they're different. And these are examples of different signs. Okay, are we ready for numbers? I hope you said yes. Let's plug in some numbers, okay? Let's say we have 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. It's positive. These are both positive. Our answer is positive. We've been doing problems like these since we've been multiplying, right? So 3rd grade about. Today, we're going to be working with all integers. So sometimes there's going to be negatives in there. In B, this is an example of multiplying 2 factors who have negative signs. The signs are the same, which means our answer is positive. You can write a positive 6, or you can just write 6, okay? Now let's switch it up. Let's say our first number is positive and our second number is negative. So I'm going to take 3 from the A and negative 2 from B, multiply them together. Now I have different signs, and when I have different signs, I'm going to get a negative answer. So my answer is negative 6. How about negative 3 this time times positive 2? A negative times a positive is a negative every time. How are you feeling about these? Ready for some division? Let's do some division. E, F, G, H. How smart are you? Let me challenge you. If I say that our family, do you remember that from when you were younger? Your fact families are 10, 5, and 2. How are we going to make this work for all of these letters? So if we have a positive 10 and we divide it by a positive 5, we're going to get a positive 2. Now I need to switch them, right? I'm going to keep the fact families when the numbers stay the same and you kind of mix them all around, right? Let's say I have negative 10 and I divide it by negative 5. I'm going to get a positive 2 because the signs are the same. Negative times a negative is a positive. If I switch it up and say positive 10 minus or divided by negative 5, I now have a positive and a negative, so I have different signs, so that means my answer is negative. And then lastly, did you guys beat me? If I do negative 10 over positive 5, my signs are different, so I get a negative answer. These are the rules for the day, okay? We're going to be moving on in this, actually through the whole book, and we're going to need to remember multiplication and division sign rules and adding and subtracting sign rules. I know that in the past, some students like to make a 3x5 card with the rules handy, just so they can like double check it. You know, maybe it's somewhere easy to find for a quiz that happens to be open notes, or some other convenient reason, like doing homework from now until May, and having those easy to find, those rules, because for some reason for some people, tend to get mixed up between addition and subtraction and multiplying and dividing. And they definitely matter, right? We don't want to mix them up. So today, you guys are going to be doing what we just did together for your 3rd homework assignment. So homework number 3 is going to be on page 18. And These are quick and they're small numbers. So we're gonna do a few, okay? Let's look at 10 through 26 today. 10 through 26. If you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. All right, good luck, you guys.